Good morning. It is episode 5 of Moving Forward with Hope, Happiness, and Heart. It's take 2 of episode 5 because last week I had a couple episodes that my headphones weren't working, so there was no audio on it. So I'm going to tack on a couple episodes at the end and just instead of trying to double up. Because I really wanted to take the weekend off. That was the plan. So I stuck with it. Anyway, this morning I went for a walk and I just got out of the shower, so my hair's a little wet. It's not greasy. And I was watching, so I had something also this morning that made me smile as I was getting on to Instagram to record this, or to come on live. Waiting for the time, I was looking at my niece's profile, and my little 3-year-old great nephew is learning how to ski. Oh my gosh, he is so adorable. It's just so cute. He's getting so big so fast. Anyway, I put a big smile on my face, so it just made me think, if you're in a funk or something, another great thing to do is to connect with little kids somehow. Whether even if you just, if you don't have any in your own life for some reason, then just find some funny baby videos or little kid videos or something. There's a lot of that stuff out there to check out. It's just bound to put a smile on your face. So that's a little extra bonus tip today. All right, so today we're talking about the American dream and minimalism. Now, I don't know if those things go together. Probably like 10 years ago, minimalism was super fringe, but I think it's taken a little bit more hold over these years. I started to kind of get involved with it. I just kind of got obsessed with tiny houses when I had my own house. And it always seemed like it was just too big for me. A lot of the time it was just me living there. And it had 2 bedrooms with a loft, so it wasn't giant, but it was pretty big for just one person because you can only be in one room at a time. So I was like, what, do I really need a house this big? And also it actually fit perfectly everything that I had wanted when I wanted to buy my own home for myself. I actually had a list, but this is kind of a side tangent too. I had made a list of everything that I wanted, folded it up and stuck it in like my underwear drawer or something. And when I opened it back up, I realized the house that I ended up finding, and it was like serendipitous that I ended up with this house. I didn't go looking and searching. I just ended up getting that house. So, yeah, and then it was weird how it fit that note that I had put down in my drawer. So anyway, it was great for a while having that house, and I think that after a while, well, it was a fixer-upper, which was something that I wanted because I wanted to do all the projects and stuff, and I had a lot of fun, and I learned a lot of stuff, and I love using power tools. I'm a weirdo. I don't like jewelry. I would rather have power tools. I told a boyfriend that one time. It was funny. Anyway, so like I said, I did a lot of work on the house, and then when the market went down in the 2000s, the end of 2008 or something like that, I started feeling like, wow, there's still a lot of work to do on this, and the value has dropped so much. I don't know if that's what I really want to do, and it just caused me to step back and rethink, is this really what I want? Is this the kind of life that I really want? Constantly fixing this house up, constantly putting money into it, and I just thought, wow, is the value ever going to come back? Well, hindsight, yeah, it came back quicker than I would have expected it to. But I still don't regret that because I learned so much from the process of letting that go. I got rid of so much stuff. I lived in that house for 10 years, and I know some people live in a house for so much longer, and I just couldn't believe all of the stuff that I had accumulated. So I had probably like 3 garage sales. And I know going through the stuff, I was like, what? Why did I even get this? Like, why do I have this? Why do I own this? And I just really kind of, I started questioning all the decisions I made about, I had this house, so I guess I felt like I had to fill it up. And I remember a friend when I was like a teenager, or just, young adult, saying something about that, about, yeah, you buy a house, you get a bigger house, and you got to fill it with stuff, then you got to get more stuff, and it's like this vicious cycle. And that totally popped in my head. I was like, wow, he was smarter than I thought he was. So anyway, a couple of points here. One is one of my biggies, which is social conditioning. Social conditioning is totally unavoidable in any culture that you live in. There's some kind of social expectations. There's just the way that everybody does things. And you have a tendency to kind of flow with that because that's what you know. That's what's around you. That's what you see. That's what you think you're like supposed to do. So, I thought I was supposed to like strive towards getting my own home and like, the white picket fence, whatever, which I didn't have, but you get the idea, like the traditional, these are the steps that you take in your life. And when the market went down like that, it caused me to really rethink and just, I'm always questioning things, which is great. So, yeah, constantly reevaluate what you want in your life. You might make a decision one day, and then realize, just constantly ask yourself, because the decision that you make today is going to affect your life, years down the road if you don't continuously adjust and, ask yourself, okay, is this still where I want to be going? Is this you just check in with yourself. Is this still what I want to be doing? Or am I just kind of going through the motions from a decision I made 10 years ago? So that's what I did. I reevaluated what I wanted, and I decided, what, I don't really want all of this stuff. Meanwhile, I had become kind of obsessed with tiny houses or maybe an RV to travel around a little bit. I have family in different areas, so that was sort of a driving factor to be able to visit them. Kind of a weird side note, the reason why, I wouldn't just go stay with them is a lot of them have cats, and I'm deathly allergic, so that sort of put maybe an RV or something. Anyway, so I kind of got obsessed with that idea, and I actually moved forward on that, like, fast forward 10 years from now, but I'll talk more about that later. Today I want to focus on the minimalism and the decluttering and the getting rid of excess stuff. It is very difficult when you first start doing that. It can be, because you're not used to that. You're not used to letting go of stuff unless that's something that you've already experienced. So at first, it was challenging. I probably had like 3 garage sales, got rid of stuff online, and there was some stuff that was obvious, I'm not using this. Other stuff was like, yeah, I'm just going to keep this. So I had downsized into something just a little bit smaller, so I still had a garage, I still had an extra bedroom, I still had quite a bit of space, so I still had quite a bit of stuff. And then about 5 years later, I moved out of that place and I downsized drastically. And while I was there, I was kind of still processing all of that. Like, okay, eventually I might want to be traveling in an RV, so let's start paring down. Do I really need this? And I was very much more conscious about my buying decisions. So, and the whole point is to move forward in your life. Sometimes stuff drags you down, and I didn't mention this before, but that house had started to feel like an anchor in those last few years. Like, I couldn't really move forward in my life because I had all this stuff, and I had this house, and it still needed so much work, and it just started to weigh me down, and as soon as I let that go, I felt so much lighter and happier, and the more and more I let go in my life, the happier and happier I have become. So you don't have to be extreme to embrace minimalism. You can just start considering it a little bit at a time. I mean, my process has probably been about 10 years, and I still have more than I really need. I have very, very minimal stuff compared to what I used to have, but I'll say that, I always have what I need. Maybe if I need a power tool that I don't still have, I can borrow it from somebody. Because it's not something that I use all the time anymore because I don't have a project house. So that's great. Anyway, all right. So let's see, make sure that I didn't miss anything that I wanted to talk about. I'm going to put these on so I can see. All right. Well, that's pretty much the gist of it is, letting go of stuff. So let's chat about this if you want to in the comments. Let me know how you feel about that. Do you feel like you have too much stuff? Do you feel like you let go of things easily? Have you thought about it? Have you tried it? Do you want to try it and you're not sure where to start? Drop your thoughts, questions, and comments below, and let's chat. All right, have a happy, wonderful, beautiful day, and move forward. I will see you tomorrow.